For thousands of years, hell was a vague, terrifying concept, a place of fire and eternal suffering. But what if I told you that one man, with just a pen in his imagination, gave hell a definitive address, a structure, and a detailed, terrifying map? This is the story of the man who literally mapped hell. Our story begins in the early 14th century, in the bustling city of Florence, Italy. A poet, exiled and embittered, began to write a journey. His name was Dante Alighieri, and his epic poem, The Divine Comedy, would forever change how we see the afterlife. He didn't just write about hell. He became its first tourist, its first cartographer. He envisioned it not as a chaotic pit of fire, but as a meticulously organized, subterranean funnel, a terrifying inverse of heaven. Dante's Inferno wasn't just a story. It was a blueprint. He imagined hell as a massive, cone-shaped abyss plunging deep into the earth, created when Lucifer was cast out of heaven. The entrance is marked by the chilling words, "Abandon all hope, who enter here." This abyss is divided into 9 distinct circles, each one punishing a specific category of sin. The deeper you go, the worse the sin, and the more horrific the punishment. This wasn't just poetry. It was a moral and geographical statement that captivated the medieval world. It gave a logical structure to eternal damnation. Let's descend into the first few circles. After crossing the river Acheron, we reach the second circle, the realm of lust. Here, souls are not burned, but are forever tossed about by a violent, hurricane-like storm. This storm symbolizes the overwhelming power of passion that they allowed to control them in life. Famous lovers from history, like Helen of Troy and Cleopatra, are swept along in this endless gale, never to find peace or rest, forever trapped with the very person they sinned for. The punishment is a perfect, poetic reflection of their earthly failing. A life controlled by the winds of desire becomes an eternity battling a physical tempest. As we go deeper, the punishments become more visceral. We arrive at the 4th circle, the home of the greedy and the wasteful. Here, 2 groups of souls clash for eternity. One group, the hoarders, must push massive, heavy weights with their chests. The other group, the spendthrifts, must do the same, but in the opposite direction. They crash into each other over and over, shouting, "Why do you hoard? And why do you squander?" It's a pointless, exhausting, and eternal struggle, a physical manifestation of their materialistic obsessions on earth. Their earthly conflict over wealth becomes an endless, brutal physical collision in the afterlife. But the true horror of Dante's hell isn't found in fire, but in ice. The very bottom of the abyss, the 9th circle, is not a fiery lake, but a frozen wasteland called Cocytus. This is where the worst sinners of all, the betrayers, are punished. Traitors to their family, their country, their guests, and their lords are encased in ice. Some up to their necks, their tears freezing their eyes shut. And at the absolute center, frozen from the waist down, is Lucifer himself. He's not a magnificent king of fire, but a grotesque 3-faced monster, trapped in ice, created by the flapping of his own wings. He gnaws eternally on the 3 greatest betrayers in history, Judas Iscariot, who betrayed Jesus, and Brutus and Cassius, who betrayed Julius Caesar. For Dante, betrayal wasn't a crime of passion. It was a cold, calculated act, and its punishment is an eternity of cold, static immobility. Now, you might think this is all just dark fantasy, but what's truly mind-blowing is the science and mathematics Dante poured into his creation. He was a man of the late Middle Ages, a time of burgeoning intellectual curiosity. He used the known principles of Aristotelian physics and Ptolemaic astronomy to make his hell feel real. He calculated its size and depth. He described the physics of the journey, how gravity shifts at the center of the earth as he and his guide climb down Lucifer's frozen body and emerge on the other side of the world. He used complex geometry to describe the layout of each circle and the intricate architecture of torment. This wasn't just a poem. It was an attempt at a unified theory of the spiritual and physical universe, a work of theological science fiction. And people believed it. For centuries, Dante's map of hell was considered almost canonical. Artists like Botticelli and Gustave Doré brought his vision to life in stunningly detailed illustrations. Preachers used his imagery in their sermons. His work was so influential that it shaped the Catholic Church's own evolving concept of hell. He provided a visual language for something that had been purely abstract. Before Dante, hell was a vague threat. After Dante, you could picture it. You could imagine your specific place within its chilling geography based on your sins. It made damnation personal, specific, and terrifyingly real. So the next time you hear a reference to the 9 circles of hell, remember the exiled Florentine poet who, driven by love, politics, and a burning sense of justice, picked up a pen and drew a map. He didn't just write a story. He architected an abyss, quantified damnation, and gave a concrete, terrifying form to one of humanity's greatest fears. Dante Alighieri didn't discover hell, he invented it. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this journey into the Inferno fascinating, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into history's most powerful ideas. See you next time.